I'm going to be short, to the point, and clear, and you're going to learn how to use Audacity. Audacity. Okay, and this is the program, Audacity. You can install it from your student software center, something like that. And so you can get this software somehow from the software center. I don't know how to do that for you guys. Somebody else make a video of how to do it. So this is what it looks like when you get it installed and started up. Mine works, I think, like yours. It might have some features that yours doesn't because of the way it's installed on student computers, but I think most of this stuff will apply. Usually it works pretty good, but there are some issues sometimes with the timing of recordings and certainly the quality of the recording. The biggest one is your microphone on your computer probably has some settings in it that are not that make it sound funny. Like there's some software program like Clear Voice or background noise canceling and stuff like that. If you can turn that stuff off, it's really good for recording purposes. Or if you can get some sort of external microphone. Anything is better than your standard mic. Goal today is to make a short little orchestra of ourself. So Mr. Jones Orchestra.
Mr. Jones Orchestra, Mr. Jones Tra.
So, yeah.
David Istra. David, okay.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Stay on target. We're too close. Stay on target.
So turning off the canceling the sounds, the microphone issues. If your microphone sounds weird, you might investigate these sound settings. So sound settings or volume mixer.
There might be some things in here where you can adjust, of course, the level of the sounds as well. But the microphone settings are in the sound settings, so that was sound settings.
Okay, I think I have two of those open now. Nope. So
when you go down to input,
it'll say like system microphone or laptop microphone or something. And a webcam will work too if they have a microphone. You could put laptop microphone or something. And a webcam will work too if they have a microphone. You could put the webcam right next to your instrument and get good better sound there. So a microphone helps, but managed sound devices, I think maybe that helps. Maybe it's device properties.
I don't know. Either way, there's play with the settings that you find here. These ones, advanced stuff.
Whatever you're allowed to do with your computer, try it. Don't break anything.
But be careful what you're clicking. But there might be a filter on there that makes you sound like you're underwater sometimes, because especially with music, it's designed usually for speech, but music does. That might be your first task, to see if your microphone is working. But once you've turned off those things, if you can find them, and you get into Audacity, you go like this. You go, okay, what do I do? Well, I'll hit record and see what happens. Mine's set up correctly, so it will work, but here's some ways to figure out if it's working. This microphone bar up here, if you click on it, it starts showing you the levels of sounds that it's hearing. If you're not seeing green bars in there after you click on it once, there might be an issue. This is the level of my mic, so if I turn it down, it will make it quieter and quieter and quieter. But this is not too high, because then you get into the red bars. See the red bars of doom? That means you're clipping. It's kind of like, they call it something. Yeah, when it's all distorted, that's the thing kids are doing these days. If you want to go for that, that's how you do it. Turn it up all the way. So your microphone volume needs to be, I don't know, it depends on your microphone. Ha! Ha! You want to make big sounds and see what happens. So to make those red bars go away, they stay there when you've clipped. So let's see if we clip with a loud sound. Ha ha ha! Oh, one clip. Ha 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 ha. Okay, try again.
2 clips. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so whatever. That's close. Maybe that's okay.
But that will make your recording sound terrible. So watch out. I think we're ready. Got sound. If it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. I'll find a way to help you figure it out. Okay, so you hit record, and it starts recording. Wow, look at that. So I've got this thing recording, and I didn't prepare anything to say. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy brown dog. Is that right? I'll figure it out later. So I have this recording, and if I hit spacebar, and I'm using a keyboard to visually show you what I'm doing. Good idea, huh? So if I hit spacebar, as long as I'm on Audacity here, so I hit my spacebar, and it starts recording. Wow, look at that. So I've got this thing recording, and I didn't prepare anything to say. So make sure you're on the selector.
Selector.
So you can play music, your recordings. Didn't prepare anything to say. Awesome. I started in the middle there. If I want to go to the beginning, I should push the home button. You might have to hunt a little bit for how to make home work on your laptop keyboards. Home. Back to home, Jeeps. So we can listen to it and play it. But more importantly, we can do fun stuff with it too. So double click it to get everything. Double click, right? That double clicks everything. You can also hit Control A, which selects all. Control A, all. Go into Effect, and you can have fun with all this cool stuff. Effects. Let's try change pitch. How high do you want to make it? Let's make it an octave higher. So how many half steps is an octave? Ooh, how many half steps is an octave? 12, right? So there's C. There's C. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12.
12 half steps is an octave. You know, because octopuses have 8 legs, so octaves have 12 half steps. Why? Because there's no sharp between B and C and E and F, right? Why is that? Well, ask the ancient Greeks, kinda, and ask the medieval early European people that set out music theory rules and made keyboards the way that they look. Piano keyboards, organ keyboards, harpsichord keyboards. It goes way back, and the basic idea is you don't want every note because otherwise the keyboard would be too big.
Stay on target.
I think I'm on a different topic now. Sorry. Anyways, there's 12 half steps in an octave, and they call them semitones in England, right? British, if you learn British English and music theory, you'll say semitones. They also say quaver instead of quarter note.
So that is the thing. And their eighth notes are like heavy demi-quavers, and then like 16th notes are called heavy demi-semi-quavers, or 32nd notes, heavy demi-semi-quavers. That's the thing. So, music.
You're learning a lot, aren't you? So I hit OK, and I just made my voice go up an octave. You want to hear it? How do I start the playback? Space bar. Oops.
Okay, every time I click on this keyboard, it goes out of the program.
So I have to activate the program and then hit the space bar.
And it starts recording. Wow, look at that. So I've got this thing recording, and I didn't prepare anything.
You can see it sounds really, really sort of computerized. I'm going to say, I don't like that. What happened? Let's fix that. Control Z. Aha, that undoes the action. So undo is Control Z if you didn't know. Let's try and change it to just a half an octave. So let's see.
I guess since there's 11, 12, I don't know. Whatever. I changed it halfway.
And it starts recording. Wow, look at that. So I've got this.
So the more you play with the pitch, the more computerized it sounds. So you can make it like that. You can also select small parts and cut them out. Let's have some fun. Or repeat them. So if I select, what's that? Press spacebar.
Wow, wow, wow.
So I want to move this over a little bit to get just the wow. Okay.
Wow, wow.
And I got the wow it at the end, so I'm going to trim it up a little bit. You know, I need to see it bigger, so I'm going to hold the control button, a control key, and then I'm going to use my mouse wheel and zoom in. The other way to do that is 1 and 2. Control 1 and Control 2. Control 2.
Your touchpad might work. So I've got this small section.
Wow, wow.
I still got wow it, so I'm going to trim this edge over here. I'm just grabbing this side. It turns into this pointer finger.
Wow, wow, wow.
I still hear wow it. I just want wow.
Wow, wow.
I still hear wow it. So I'm going to zoom in some more. Control 2. Oops. Control 1. Control 1. Control 1. Control 1. It's way better with the mouse. Control scroll wheel. So let's see if I got wow.
Wow.
Spacebar. Wow. 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 Still hear a little bit wow it there.
Okay, wow.
Wow,
Okay, so when I'm looking at a small chunk of text, I want to... I'm totally off track again. Jeez. I want to grab it at the right place, so you always want to hit Z.
Dang it. Redo. Okay.
Wow. Okay, so you're always going to want to hit Z, which grabs it at the 0-point crossings. Otherwise, when your sound wave goes down, if you cut it off right here, you'll hear a jump in your recording. So hit Z every time you're doing a chunk or you're doing some editing. Z to make a clean cut at a 0 crossing. So hit Z. I'm going to repeat that several times to make it go wow, 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 wow. So I will hit Control C, which is copy. So I've taken that chunk of stuff and I'm going to copy it. And then I'll hit Control V. Oops. And then I need to get out of that. Now I need to tell it where to put it. So I'm going to zoom in, scroll wheel for me again, or Control 1, Control scroll wheel. That Control key is very useful. I'll go right to the edge of where I thought it stopped, and then I'll hit Control V, as in Victor, to paste. And I think if I do it again, Control V, nope, only does once. Here's something else I know. If I hit the arrow keys, if I hit right, it goes right to the end of that clip, exactly where I was. So the keyboard is super valuable here in a lot of creation work and editing and
Using the computer.
Control V is paste. Right arrow. Control V is paste. Right arrow.
so big I can't see. I better zoom out. How do I do that again? Control 1 is out.
Or control left inside, back 2.
Scroll wheel's better.
So I'm still at the same place because I haven't moved anything around. I haven't clicked anywhere. I haven't used my arrow keys. So Control V. How many of these can I do?
Arrow key, Control V, arrow key, Control V. No, hit the wrong one. No, I just selected. Oh, that's okay. Undo, Control V. There we go. There we go. Now, Control V, arrow key, Control V, arrow key, Control V. Now, I want more because I'm greedy.
But I don't want to use the on-screen keyboard, so I will use my actual keyboard and watch how fast we can be. Editing champions. How many wows do I have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many do you need? I think I heard 17.
So I go paste, Control V, right now, paste, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so 17. Let's count. Even now, so go back to the beginning. Wow, 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 17 times. Wow, 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 wow. Look at that. So I got this.
Great fun, huh, folks? I think you get the idea. You can play around with all this stuff. It's amazing what you can do, but you haven't even heard the 1/4 of it, folks. You haven't even heard the half of it. There's more. So I'm gonna kill. Oh, I forgot. Oh my gosh, I'm so lucky.
Save.
Your project. I should have done that in the beginning. Save your project. Warning, save project is for an Audacity project, not an audio file. So when you save this project, it won't make a file that you can play. It won't make like a song, a track, an MP3, or a WAV file. It will make just a remembering all the edits and all the stuff you have in place. It's your project in process. It's not the finished audio file. Okay? So it says, are you sure about that? So I'm going to call it test, and I'll save it. Yes, I already had one there called test, so I had to resave over the top of that. So I'm going to kill that, and I'm going to make some music now. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm Mr. Jones Guitar. So here's how we do some sort of multiple person thing. At first, just go for something short, just something silly. I'm going to play an instrument. So grab yourself your 40-year-old cello, quarter-sized cello from your youth, as you do. And check your levels on your cello because it's usually a little louder. Yeah, so that's a little loud. I've clipped on both channels there, so we'll back it off a little bit. And I will also move farther away from the mic. But for just your first experiments, just start making some sounds. And you can even take like a pen and a coffee cup and make, because I teach orchestra. If you have an orchestra instrument, give it a try. Start with something simple. So I'll show my process. Here I go. Okay. 1, 2, ready. Okay, that was spacebar stops and clicking the red button to start recording. Now, if you want to do multiple tracks, of course, you need to go back to home. So I'm going to use my keyboard to say home, and then I'm going to say if I want to record over the top of this, if you just hit record again, it will start recording at the end of the file. But if you want to make another track, another Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Shift R. Okay, get ready. 1, 2, ready. And stop. That note didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but I'm just going to keep going because that's the fun. So back to home. Clicked home and then shift record.
Let's make another Mr. Jones.
Okay, get ready. 1, 2, ready. Go back home. You can hear there's lining up issues because I'm not being very careful. A metronome clicking in your head will help a lot with that. And you can edit some of this to make some of that go away. And with more expensive software, you can actually fix all that automatically. Like you can just play really sloppy and they'll be able to fix a lot of your mistakes. Strings is hard, but they can still do a lot. Okay, here's how it sounds with those 3 parts stacked together so far. Spacebar. Okay, get ready. 1, 2, ready.
And then the high F sharp, let's see how it goes. So Shift R. Okay, now get ready. 1, 2, ready.
Several minutes later. And I'm clipping up here in my levels, so I need to do a Control A, select all, and turn everything down a little bit. So amplify down, negative 4. I think it'd be plenty. So let's see what levels we got here.
Good enough. So that's a little Jones orchestra.
And to make that into a file that you can share and people can play, you have to export. So MP3 is the most common format. WAV is also pretty good. You might have trouble exporting as an MP3 on your computers because somebody owns the software that does the math for this, and I think you might have to install it separately. I hope you guys can do MP3s, but you should be able to do a WAV file because that was Microsoft's format from a long time ago, and everybody can use it freely, I think. So I'll export it as an MP3 because that's usually the easiest way to share with people. So export, and it'll ask you what do you want to name it. Well, I want to call it test, and pay attention to where you've put it. Mine's on my desktop. I like to save things to the desktop and then put them into folders when I'm done with them, but probably best to keep it in your libraries, in your documents and stuff, wherever you keep your files. Save. Your tracks will be mixed down and exported as one stereo file. Yes, they will. Okay, that's what I want. Thank you for checking. So here it is. Test. Are you ready for the test?
Snare drum time, baby.
Yeah.
I'm ready, Mr. Jones.
Ready. Good enough.
And now,
So there's a lot of learning around that, and that's probably enough to make you really annoyed that you can't do all that, and that it won't all perfectly work the first time. But
Join the struggle bus.
okay, see you next time.